I just got done with my first session on the Modern Warfare 4 Early Access Beta, and oh man, I have a lot of thoughts about this game that, I'm gonna be honest here, are probably gonna make some or a lot of you guys mad. It is a major decisive time for Call of Duty as a franchise right now. We have Black Ops 7 on its way out the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out, am I right? I mean, Zombies was great, but who cares even a little bit about the multiplayer? We have the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports that did insane numbers on PlayStation with both sales and active players, and don't even get me started about that hacker situation. I have some hot takes about that too. And then we have this whole matchmaking, rug pull, controversy, hubbub, hoopla, whatever you want to call it. It's a big topic right now. There are some big signs that players are not happy with the way COD has been going for a while now, and dare I say, T-Dog, I don't want to steal your whole catchphrase here, but Call of Duty might be back. If, and that's a big if, the developers play their cards right. Now, before I go deep into all the stuff I want to talk about with this beta, I want to let you guys know what's going on with the video in the background here. The actual content of the video is one of my first games on the beta. I dropped a pretty decent game with the new sniper and I wanted to show it off, but I have to apologize. I switched my recording setup on OBS from PlayStation over a capture card to PC with game capture. I changed some of my recording settings and it was this whole big mess at a really bad time. The quality is much lower than I would want it to be, and it was this whole ordeal trying to get something somewhat usable out of the video and the audio side of things, and then it didn't work in Premiere, and I had to figure out this FFmpeg nonsense and yada yada. It was just a nightmare, but I absolutely had to get something out. Firstly, let's get this elephant out of the room. I know a lot of you are probably looking at this gameplay right now saying it looks exactly like Modern Warfare 3, and I'll be honest here, I can definitely see it. Obviously, the Modern Warfare series has its own cohesive personality that sticks to the games, but we knew exactly what we were getting already when it comes to the visuals. We're not seeing anything new and surprising right now along those lines. I'm sure a ton of people also saw OG MW3 and said, that's basically Modern Warfare 2, I'm not buying it. That's just how Modern Warfare is. It's all about how it feels and plays, not the look. And before you run down to the comments to say it, I'm definitely not a shill for Activision or a bootlicker or whatever you might want to call me. I have some critiques for sure. There are definitely things I want to see changed, and I'll get to those. But I'm overall pretty excited about this game so far. I've been enjoying the hell out of my time in this beta. Now, granted, I've mostly been sniping, but that's typically my go-to playstyle for every Call of Duty game, with a few exceptions, so at least it's a consistent point of view across all the games. And that'll segue us to the first point I want to bang out, the weapons. The guns and gunplay is definitely the biggest thing I wanted to talk about, the real meat of this yap session. The guns we get to pick from aren't all new. We've seen quite a few of these weapons before, or some slightly different variation of them. People are going to have different feelings about that. Maybe you're glad to see some favorites return, like the PPSH. Maybe you're tired of seeing the same guns again. I'm more worried about the systems around the weapons. First of all, the gunplay feels great. You know how Infinity Ward is, they're always killing it in the gunplay department. Time to kill is a big part of the way engagements shape your experience though. This time around, it is fast, and I mean fast. I'm not a fan of high time to kill in general, but it's a little fast even for my preference. I could definitely do with raising it just a tiny bit. Let's not go overboard though and make everyone juggernaut bullet sponges, but I'm definitely seeing a little more of a bias towards passive players pre-aiming angles than I'd like. On the other hand of it though, most of the guns absolutely melt at appropriate ranges, which along with the super satisfying kill hit marker, make it an extremely rewarding feeling to win gunfights. Specifically, the snipers don't seem to require super specific builds and special attachments right now to be actually viable the way they have in recent years, so it's great to see that you can for the most part just pick up a bare sniper and get to work with it, which is especially great considering the next point, the amount of levels per weapon. What are we doing, man? Why are there tens or dozens of levels on every gun? It's not like we have a million attachments like the other years, and I really hope there isn't a million of them later on. You do seem to be able to get through the levels pretty fast, but I'd rather see less levels with closer together unlocks personally. Also with the attachments, it seems like I'm unlocking attachments for all my guns at the same time, but the list of unlocked ones is pretty short, so it's hard to get a real grasp of which behavior is intended. In my opinion, that whole unlock system of having to level up gun A just to get attachments for gun B is a load of donkey dust. If you only want to use one gun, you should only have to use that gun to build it the way you want. I haven't yet unlocked an Apex attachment, but I'm definitely excited to see what they're about. From what I've seen so far, they seem like they should be a more appealing system than the conversion kit garbage that'll turn your sniper to a minigun or whatever fever dream the devs conjure up. Also, a quick note on the attachments, who invited Frangible to the party? That shit absolutely sucks to get hit with and it does not belong here. That's all. As for the movement mechanics have been a hot topic for a very long time in Call of Duty, and I think they absolutely hit the nail on the head with this one. Without a ton of time on the game, it's hard to say how it'll age, but I think it's a great middle ground between the more grounded but boring mechanics from past Modern Warfare games and a little more advanced tech without going all the way to slide cancel spam, wall jump, omni bullshit. It feels pretty natural, and I definitely suggest playing for yourself to try it out. I think most people should be happy about how it feels. It's enough tech to be a skill without making the game focused on how much you can spam combos. Go ahead and try out the mobility course. I only went into it to feel the game out before playing, but again, we're in a middle ground. It has a couple elements from the pit while incorporating a tiny bit of the free run parkour vibes. Definitely interested to see if anything meaningful gets done with that through the life cycle. And for the maps that are in the beta, I have a sort of mixed feeling about the maps that we can play right now. There's definitely a brain rot slop element to the smallest map of the three, and I could definitely see there being a group of people that want to have it in a 24/7 mode. That definitely doesn't mean that I agree with that group of people though. Spawning right around the corner from enemies, fights not being able to be properly isolated, action every second of the game. It is, however, pretty cool to have so many collab opportunities when sniping or have so many chances to spray transfer with a red gun though, just not all the time. The other two maps have been pretty much nothing but awesome for me. Layouts that give you areas to play with any class type, interesting elevation changes, and lane routes. From a respawn 6v6 perspective, they play very well. For the topic of game modes, I pretty much played Domination because that's my favorite out of the options, but they have made some questionable choices with Dom. A couple times I found myself thinking, why is this so long? Am I still in the same game? And yeah, it's just one long round now. No more halftime or side swap. Just start at 0-0 and play until someone wins or the time runs out, and back to the lobby. My first instinct is to not like that change, but we'll see how it plays out later. I think the split up halves let you refresh your mental mid-game, pay a little more attention to the objective, and as a bonus you could have 2 play the game kill cams, and I don't know about you guys, but every single game I'm thinking about hitting play all the time. This next part could be the fact that I just came from Black Ops 2 for a whole month, but spawns in Dom don't feel sticky at all. Sides flip willy-nilly, people spawn pretty much wherever, and it takes away some incentive to hold strategic flags. I could see this stopping people from leaving because it makes it harder to bully people as they spawn, but it makes objectives feel more like a background to a TDM than the actual main target. I'm super excited to try Kill Block Gunfight, but as it stands in the first public version of the beta, Kill Block Gunfight is a 10v10 mode. It doesn't make sense to me how much Gunfight has been messed with, since every time they increase team sizes, it makes me want to totally avoid it as much as most of you are probably trying to avoid liking Modern Warfare 4. It always works best as a 2v2 or 3v3 in my opinion. Let's leave it at that. I'm really hoping once the game releases they don't play with it too much, or at least leave the smaller gunfights in place while you temporarily offer the bigger ones. I have seen a lot of people on Reddit complaining about the performance of the game, which I am on board with. COD hasn't run as good as it should for the way it looks and plays, but to be honest, and this is the part that seems to upset people, I think a lot of the complaints about it are wrong, or at least misdirected. Wrong probably isn't the right word. It does run poorly given the settings I have it on and my specs. I do think we need to set our expectations properly though for a beta. It seems to me like every year the beta runs worse than the previous COD by a considerable margin, people complain, it launches, and it performs not as good as the last, but more stable than the beta. With FSR 4 set to balanced on medium-low settings, I'm getting frame rates of about 170 on my system with the specs on screen, with stutters here and there and major dips when I go to throw tactical or lethal. I'm not saying that the declining performance of Call of Duty games in general is justified, because it's not, but we do this every year. It always runs better on launch and in the following months than it does in the beta. We don't have specific graphics drivers optimized for the game yet, and it clearly isn't polished enough to ship to customers. I saw someone on Reddit try to use Modern Warfare 19 running better than Modern Warfare 4 as a complaint, but Modern Warfare 19 and Modern Warfare 4 have the same time gap as MW19 and the original Black Ops 2. If you're that skeptical about it, just wait to see the benchmarks when it's out. I don't think the beta is exactly a one-to-one representation of what real-world post-release performance looks like. The performance is always worse in the beta, but I do definitely agree Call of Duty is lacking optimization in general. This is just one more example of what I mean when I say COD is back if the developers play their cards right. A drop in the bucket full of reasons to be cautious even while optimistic. I think they have a great feeling base here, and I could see myself having a bunch of fun on it after release, but without a really great third mode like Treyarch has, and the fact that they're already walking on eggshells with the COD community, it's absolutely critical that their next steps are extremely well thought out and catered to the player base to make sure this is something that players like us can get $70 to $100 worth of fun out of. I understand that people are always going to find something to complain about, but there are definitely some universal wins that could bring the series back into the hearts of an absolute ton of players who have given up and with more players comes more money. So it seems like we have an absolute no-brainer slam dunk in the optimization effort, and especially the matchmaking, that COD continues not to take, instead choosing to implement whatever sounds good to shareholders. I'm hopeful for the future of this game, and for the future of the ports, whether that means supporting the existing ones better or giving us some more, like anything from the Modern Warfare trilogy. But we do have to be cautiously optimistic going forward. I want to love Call of Duty, and I want others to like it too. Give the beta a shot while it's free to play, make your own opinion, and keep up with COD news to stay aware of changes while we wait for the game to launch. And most importantly, betas are supposed to be used to gather user feedback, so make sure you give them as much feedback as you can. I'm sure you guys have seen the Call of Duty community management account that's been replying to people on Twitter and Reddit, so make sure you go bother them just so you know at least someone's reading it. And with that, my MW4 first impression yap session comes to a close. Let me know what you guys think about it if you tried it for yourself. I'm still working on getting out Black Ops 2 videos, but this felt urgent, so I do see your guys' comments asking for more. Also, let me know down below if you'd be interested in any more Modern Warfare 4 content as the beta periods go on and after launch, or if you hate my takes and hate me for putting an MW4 video in your feed. You know what to do if you enjoy my content. Maybe check out some more of my channel and subscribe while you're at it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time. Get out of my face.
Mission accomplished.
All right, let's see my play. Yep. Nice little montage for me. Come on. Okay, I already got a double before this. Yeah, I already got a double before that. Like, what is this pacing right now?